Mama, please. I beg you in the name of God, just tell me what I did wrong. Adiz knelt on the cold terrazzo floor of the compound, her wrapper soaked with the water she had just used to scrub the entire courtyard. Her hands trembled as she clasped them together, looking up at the woman who stood over her like a mountain of judgment. Mama Chinedu didn't even glance down. She hissed loudly, the sound cutting through the morning air like a whip, and walked past her daughter-in-law as if she were invisible. From the kitchen window, 3 neighbors watched in silence. This was the 4th time this week. Mama Chinedu was not just any woman in the compound. She was the asterisk woman. When she spoke, people listened. When she walked through the market, traders greeted her with both hands. She had raised 5 children alone after her husband died, and she wore that struggle like a crown. Her son, Chinedu, was a successful depot manager, and everyone knew it was because of her prayers, her sacrifices, her strength. I didn't suffer for 30 years, so my son can marry a lazy woman, she would say to anyone who cared to listen. And people did listen, because Mama Chinedu had a voice that commanded respect and fear in equal measure. She was a respected deaconess in the church. She led the women's fellowship. She organized the August meeting. But inside her son's house, she was something else entirely. Adiz had entered that house 3 years ago as a bride full of hope. She was a quiet girl from a good family, a graduate, a Sunday school teacher. She thought respect and hard work would win her mother-in-law's heart. She was wrong. From the very first week, Mama Chinedu made it clear. This house belonged to her. Adiz was just a guest who happened to sleep with her son. You call this jollof rice? Is this what you were cooking in your father's house? Mama Chinedu would push the plate away in front of Chinedu, her face twisted in disgust. My son, don't worry. Let me prepare real food for you. Chinedu would laugh nervously and say nothing. Mama, I'm sorry. I'll learn. Please teach me, Adiz would beg. But Mama Chinedu never taught her anything except silence and shame. Every morning, Adiz woke up at 4:30 a.m. to sweep the entire compound before Mama Chinedu woke up. She would prepare breakfast, serve her mother-in-law in her room, then wait for the list of complaints. This tea is too sweet. Are you trying to kill me with sugar? Why is my wrapper not ironed? Do you think I'm a poor woman? You've been here 3 years and no child. What exactly are you doing in this house? That last one was the knife that turned deepest. Adiz had been trying. She had gone to the hospital. The doctors said everything was fine, just give it time. But Mama Chinedu didn't believe in time. She believed in results. In my days, a woman entered her husband's house and 9 months later, a child was crying. Now you modern women, you're only good for makeup and hair. Useless generation. Chinedu heard it all. He saw the tears his wife wiped away when she thought no one was looking. But he said nothing. How could he? This was his mother, the woman who hawked pure water to pay his school fees, the woman who fasted and prayed for his success. Just manage her, my dear, he would whisper to Adiz at night. You know how she is. She'll change when the baby comes. But no baby came. And Mama Chinedu's cruelty grew. One Sunday after church, the women's fellowship gathered at Mama Chinedu's house for a meeting. Adiz prepared chin-chin, small chops, and zobo drink. She arranged everything perfectly, served with a smile. Mama Chinedu waited until all the women were seated. Then she spoke loudly enough for everyone to hear. My daughter-in-law tries her best, oh. But you see, when a woman is not carrying the blessing of children, even her cooking doesn't have salt. The women laughed nervously. Some shook their heads in pity. Adiz stood frozen in the doorway, the empty tray shaking in her hands. Sister Ngozi, the assistant women's leader, touched Mama Chinedu's arm gently. Mama, NDO, God's time is the best. God's time, Mama Chinedu's voice rose. My dear, I'm not a young woman. I want to carry my grandchild before I die. Is that too much to ask? Adiz quietly left the room. She went to the outside kitchen, sat on the low stool, and cried until her wrapper was soaked. The breaking point came 3 months later. It was December, and the family was preparing for the village Christmas celebration. Relatives were coming from everywhere. Mama Chinedu was in her element, organizing, commanding, making sure everyone knew she was in charge. Adiz, come here. Adiz rushed from the bedroom, where she was folding clothes. Yes, Mama. You see this room? Mama Chinedu pointed to the guest room. My younger sister is coming with her daughter. You and Chinedu will sleep in the parlor. Adiz blinked. Mama, but that's our what? Mama Chinedu's eyes became sharp as broken bottle. Did you buy this house? Is your name on the document? When you provide a grandchild for this family, then you can have your own room. For now, you're just a visitor here. Something broke inside Adiz that day. Not loudly, but quietly, like a thread that had been pulled too many times. That night, she didn't cry. She packed a small bag, wrote a note, and left while everyone was asleep. The note said, I'm going to my mother's house to rest. I need peace. I'm sorry I couldn't be the daughter-in-law you wanted. When Mama Chinedu found the note in the morning, she didn't even flinch. Good riddance. My son deserves better than a barren woman who runs away when things are hard. Chinedu was devastated. He begged his wife to come back, but Adiz's father, a retired schoolteacher, was firm. My daughter has lost weight. She doesn't sleep. She cries in her sleep. If your mother cannot respect her, then there's no marriage. Mama Chinedu heard about it and laughed. Respect? I gave her a roof over her head, I fed her, and this is how she repays me. Let her stay in her father's house. We'll find a better wife for Chinedu. And she did. 6 months later, Chinedu married Obiageli, a beautiful girl from a wealthy family, full of smiles and church activities. Mama Chinedu was overjoyed. Now this is a wife. Look at her hips, her brightness. This one will give me grandchildren. Obiageli moved into the house with elegance and confidence. For the first 2 weeks, Mama Chinedu was pleased. Then the pattern began again. Obiageli, this soup is too watery. Didn't your mother teach you how to cook? Why are you still sleeping at 6 a.m.? In my time, women were awake before the cock crowed. You went to visit your parents without telling me first. Who is the elder in this house? Obiageli tried to be patient, but she was not Adiz. She had a tongue and she knew how to use it. One evening, Mama Chinedu criticized her pounded yam in front of Chinedu's friends. Obiageli smiled sweetly and said, Mama, if you don't like my cooking, you're free to enter the kitchen and show me how it's done. I'm always willing to learn from someone with experience. The room went silent. Mama Chinedu's face darkened. Are you insulting me? Not at all, Mama. I'm just saying that if my cooking doesn't meet your standard, perhaps you should take over. After all, you're still strong and capable. Chinedu nearly choked on his drink.